We begin with a deadly school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin today.
Our team coverage starts with Nate Rogers, just out of the latest update from police. Nate.
Absolutely, Scott and Tia. Madison police wrapping up their fourth press conference about this very horrific shooting right now as we speak. We did receive just some new details within the last 5 minutes or so. The police chief has identified the suspected gunman as 15-year-old Natalie Rupnell. They say she goes by the name Samantha. She was a student.
I'm trying to figure out what possessed a 15-year-old girl to do that. Like, on some realness, for real. You have to really think about it. Was she bullied? Like, I mean, because I know I've heard some craziness, even as a teacher. I've heard girls say some wild stuff to each other. So I don't know. She be bullied or something like that. Maybe something happened to her. Who knows? But to decide to say, yo, listen, I'm getting a pea shooter and blah, 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 blah. It's wild, yo. It's wild. So you have to... Parents, talk to your kids, man. I said in my last video, parents, talk to your kids. Don't be like, oh, I got my life. I'm trying to just take care of them. Nah, man. You got to know what's going on with them for real, for real. For real.
At the school and apparently died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to police. Also, we learned that one of the first 911 calls that police received was from a second grader. A second grader in another classroom. Listen in more.
Shout out to the second grader who just did what needed to be done, who had the mindset to say, nah, something's not right. Let me call 911. Wow.
On a timeline from the police.
A second grade student called 911 to report a shooting had occurred at school.
Damn.
Don't let that soak in for a minute. A second grade student called 911 at 10:57 a.m. to report a shooting at school.
Damn, that's wild. Shout out to the second grader, for real.
Many students were reunited with their parents some 6 hours after this ordeal. Abundant Life Christian School, which teaches pre-K through 12th grade, has 420 students enrolled. After the shooting, kids were bused about 8 blocks to Dean Clinic, which served as a reunification site. Back at the crime scene, police have not left and plan to stick around for some time, continuing their investigation and diverting traffic. We spoke to neighbors that reside 500 feet from this school and witnessed the massive police response. Listen in.
I'm a Montessori teacher.
Wow, shout out to Montessori.
That's based on the premise that respect for self, respect for others, respect for the environment, kindness, courtesy. This just goes against everything, and children should never, ever experience this or be in that kind of danger. It's disgusting.
I agree. Montessori schools, if you guys don't know, they main premise is learning through play. They allowed each child to create pretty much their own educational plan and how they learn. They'll watch the child and they see if they learn certain ways and stuff like that. I had my daughter in the Montessori school when she was 3 to 4, and I really, really appreciate how they did it. And well, yeah, 3 to 4 because I have her in a private school now for pre-K. But very, very true. I agree with her. Montessori school, shout out to them. They don't have enough of them because it is kind of expensive to run the school, and the tuition is kind of expensive. Your boy went broke trying to make sure that his daughter was good, but I love my children. I would do whatever I can for my children. But guys, you have to understand something. Something must have been seriously wrong with that child to decide to pick up a gun and go and gun down the people that she was searching for. That is just sad, very, very sad. And we have to do more to protect our children. Social media is showing our children things that when I was growing up, I never saw. I never saw the amount of technology that's blasted 24/7 at our children from their devices. Parents, please Talk to your kids.
And it's disgusting that we as parents, grandparents, that we're just like, yeah, let's accept it. We accept this. There just has to be stronger penalties, I think, or just parents, if you have guns, lock them up. It's pretty simple.
I agree with that.
And again, at this time, police still not sharing a motive in this case. In terms of the victims, we do know that 2 students remain in critical condition, suffering from life-threatening injuries. We also know that a teacher and 3 other students were taken to area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. We've learned that at least 2 of those survivors have been released from those area hospitals. I'll now send it to my colleague, Dane Placco, who's been here in Madison speaking.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, guys. You have to do what needs to be done. I know that sometimes we may say that, oh, we can't connect to our kids and stuff like that. Yes, we can, because you know what? We were once kids. Yes, okay, growing up in a time that I grew up in, like, things were different. We didn't have all this technology. But you use the technology too. Don't act like you don't use it. So you know the dangers of it. So how about you teach your kids? And yes, okay, you know they're going to be hard-headed. They're going to, I don't want to listen to you, Mom. I don't want to listen to you, Dad. But that doesn't mean that they don't want to hear from you. Even if they say they don't want to hear it, keep talking, because guess what? They're listening. In their own little way, their own slick way, they're listening. You know, so please listen to your kids. All right? And talk to them and do what needs to be done. Guys, thank you so much for watching up to this point. I really appreciate it. If you can, give me a like if you like my commentary. Make some comments and subscribe to my channel. I'm a new YouTuber and I'm trying to grow. And I'm trying to reach over 1,000 subscribers and get 4,000 watch hours so I can become monetized one day. But I can only do it with your help. So please help a brother out. Really appreciate you guys. Let's get back to it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to another news feed. And this news feed is actually you're going to hear from some students and parents describe the shooting. Let's get to it.
Wrap tonight, law enforcement sources here in Madison say that police were able to clear that school in a matter of minutes. Firefighters say they were able to get the injured students to hospitals in 15 minutes. But now tonight, nearly 7 hours after that shooting, there are parents who are still reuniting with their children for the first time.
Wow. Crazy.
Ambulances screamed through the streets of Wisconsin's capital city. Once again, gunshots had echoed through another American classroom, this time inside a small Christian school.
This is not a place that any fire chief or any one of us would ever want to be, and I can't believe I'm standing here today talking about this incident.
Moments before 11 a.m., police say a teenage student armed with a handgun took aim at fellow classmates and teachers at Abundant Life Christian School. Hundreds of students inside the school ducked for safety.
That's a call out for help. It's a call out for help, man. I'm telling you. Call out for help, for real, for real. My heart goes out to all 3 who died, even the young girl who took her life, man. Like, what was she going through? Going through bullying, something at home, maybe boyfriend or girlfriend, who knows, you know? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
We went out the side of the building to the church.
And did you have any idea what was going on? Did you know it was a shooting?
I guess so, because I saw around... But when we went outside, there was a cop with a massive gun, so I guess I kind of knew it was a shooting.
All too familiar images of panicked parents racing to their children's school, desperate to hold them, played out outside the K-12 academy. Freshly trained police officers and firefighters raced into the school, not knowing exactly what they might encounter.
It's hard for me to place into words what they ran into.
Our commanders, including the fire chief and I, was in a commander's training less than 2 weeks ago, going over this exact same scenario for another fictional location. And so all of that came into play today. Stop the threat, stop the killing, find the threat.
By the time they got there, police say the shooter was already dead. So too were another student and teacher and 6 others injured. Police say 2 of them
Sad.
are now clinging to life. Now,
I'm telling you guys, got to talk to your kids, man. We may never know why she did it. Hopefully she left some sort of manifesto or something, maybe a diary explaining things. 'Cause the police are gonna try and, carve through everything and look at everything, and the parents probably distraught. That's a sad situation.